O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down in the driver's seat, and when I rise up through the gears. You discern my thoughts from a car.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're doing well. I'm not too bad. Thank you very much for asking. Another thoughts from a car, the ramblings of an idiot. Now these will sort of sound a bit more like rambling than normal. How could that be, Simon? Because you always sound rambling and incoherent and stupid. I know that. I appreciate your attention to detail in this matter. But this is going to be a thing again, comes up in the news or whatever it is, and it sort of strikes me, and it's been something that's been on my mind for a few years now, a couple of years, maybe a year and a bit, whatever it is. And I say off at the very start, I am not a conspiracy theorist. I hate conspiracy theories. I think that they are the first go-to for the dim and for people who have trouble coping with reality. So I am not a conspiracy theorist in any shape. But if I was to be drawn to a conspiracy theory, it would be that the assassination attempt in Butler, where Donald Trump was supposedly shot, didn't happen, or didn't happen in the way that they thought it was going to happen. Now the reason for it, I've got a couple of reasons why I think it's suspicious. First is he had all these court cases coming up, some quite serious. He could have done jail time if he wasn't president. So he had a real need to be president of the United States, because that would keep him out of jail. And it was fairly likely that he would go to jail. And when he did win the election, all those cases magically disappeared. They were just quietly dropped. And I remember the time when he was up, I think wasn't it Joe Biden at that time? I think it was either Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, whoever it was that he was running against. It was reasonably tight. He wasn't looking to win a landslide. He wasn't, but it was tight enough that every vote mattered. And what gets you more sympathy, and sympathy equals votes, than somebody trying to kill you for your political views? Because then it appeals to those who think, well, God must have saved him because God wanted him in office, that sort of stuff, all that rubbish. Bear in mind, Hitler had at least three assassination attempts on him, two of which were bomb related. So maybe God wanted Hitler in post. Yeah, who knows, for frick's sake. So that's the first reason that I'm suspicious. The second is the photograph that they got from it, and the fight, fist pumping thing, and just how it's all, there's a lack of urgency with it. So somebody allegedly fires a shot that clips him in the ear. The Secret Service surround him, but they seem to surround him for an awfully long time. You watch the Ronald Reagan assassination attempt thing, and as soon as he was hit by a real bullet, as soon as he was hit, they bundled him down. They grabbed him, they threw him into a car. I think they apparently broke ribs and stuff getting him into the car. there was an awful lot of time spent still standing at the podium. Now, there could be a second shot coming. What are you doing standing at the podium? And that maybe allowed him time to compose himself, you know, maybe fix his hair, do fight. And then, or maybe it allowed time for the flag to be lowered, so that you got a really good picture. Yeah. And then the third, excuse me, the third thing that makes me very, very suspicious is he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't talk about it. Now, this is a man who, if you insulted him, if you said he wasn't as good as he told everybody he was, he would go after you on social media, on Twitter as it was then, because Trump social didn't exist. But he would have gone at you on Twitter repeatedly. And this is for the slightest thing. I mean, you think of something like Rosie O'Donnell. Now, I don't even remember what initially started it. I think Rosie O'Donnell made a joke about him, or said a couple of things about him, and he didn't like them. And he has been going on and targeting her for years over a joke. Now, imagine somebody actually tried to take his life. You would assume he would go on and on and on about this, but he didn't. He said he was going to mention it once, and that was it. For a man so literally thin-skinned, who takes even a perceived slight and goes at the other person relentlessly, it does seem like he was keen not to shine a light on it, not to draw attention to this assassination attempt, because by drawing attention to it, obviously then that invites more questions about it. And maybe he didn't want questions asked about it. Maybe he wanted it to be done and dusted. So it's very, very unlike him to let something go, especially somebody trying to take his life, that he would just let it go. It's not part of his character. And the fourth thing, which has just come into my head now, is the miraculous ear. This is a man who, now I am assuming that he was told, again, to avoid shining a light on things, just to say he'd been injured or wounded or something like that, but he couldn't say that because that sounded not tough enough. So he said his ear was blown off. Now, if you look at his ear today, it seems to have regrown without a mark on it. Imagine that. And you say, well, maybe he's a great healer, you know, all that sort of, maybe God wanted his ear to regrow and he miraculously regrew it for him. But then you say, you look at the back of his hands, which are covered with bruises, and apparently those bruises were caused by people shaking hands with him. Shaking hands! A bullet travelling at 3,000 feet per second takes his ear off and it grows back miraculously, but the back of his hands don't ever seem to heal properly, and that was caused by shaking your hands. There you go. There's four things. So I am not a conspiracy theorist, because they're just, as I said, it's the kingdom of the dim. That's where they reside. But I'm just very, very suspicious about it. And I'm even worse is the fact that 2 people died at this thing. I think it was accidentally. I don't think anybody was ever intended to die, but they did die, and got him elected. So there you go. Anyway, have a lovely day. Try to avoid being assassinated if you can. Put on a better show if you can't avoid pretending to be assassinated. And I will see you sometime in the near future. Bye bye now.